What is up, guys? It's your boy Brit VR. Welcome to the show. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. I'm going to continue to try to put out as much content as possible. It's kind of hard when you have a 9-to-5 and you have to put content out for YouTube, but I'm trying my best out here, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and let's get into some news. Now, the US stock market was pretty flat today. Okay, it was a little bit flat, but what does that mean in cryptocurrency space? What I mean, Bitcoin dropped 11% today, close to 12%. It's not looking good, but I told you guys, I already told you guys, there's a ping at the top of the video 5 or 6 days ago, me telling you guys that Bitcoin is going to drop. And if you didn't listen, you didn't have an opportunity to come over here to Bybit and place your trade and make a come up. But since we're on this, let me show you the trade I put in, and I actually missed out on my third trade. So if you guys come over to my YouTube channel, hit the community, I put up these pictures. This is my last trade right here, and I'm going to show you a couple of more things. I made a pretty good trade on this one, 67%, and I made a really good trade on this one, 78% profits. So those two trades I made profits, but one of them I didn't, and I'm kind of sick about it. So I want to show you guys what I did wrong. Okay, so this is the setup, and this is the Bitcoin price on Coinbase, and this is what I follow on Trader's View before I put my trade in on Bybit. If you guys want to be able to make a marginal trade with extra Bitcoin to get more Bitcoin, check out in the link of the description Bybit. It's an incredible place. So here's the chart for Bitcoin, and I actually got in the trade right here, exactly right here, and it pulled down. I was like, oh, since it passed this support line, broke past it and pushed up and touched it, we're going to go all the way down to this line right here. I had this set up already. This thing pushed up so hard back to resistance, pushed down and pushed through. My stop loss was like right here, guys. And so this is one resistance line, and the next one is up here. So my stop loss should have been somewhere up here, and I didn't put it up there. I'm kicking myself because this thing just dropped right out through it. So it's all part of trading. You want to lose some, but make sure you win majority of these trades. And if you guys haven't check out my website, Brit VR Crypto. Tons and tons of passive income videos about the cryptocurrency space, and they're all free. Yes, they are all free. So check it out if you want to earn crypto while you're asleep. Okay, guys, so we're going to come over to Coin Market Cap, and you can see Bitcoin is down, Ether is down, Tether is up, Polkadot is down. Everything is down except for stable coins, and we can go as far as we can go. You can see USD stablecoin, everything is down. DAI is a stablecoin. It's just crazy. So this is an opportunity you can buy, but I wouldn't buy here. I would not buy here. Let the traders trade this thing out. It should drop down further than where it is right now. So let's go back to the chart. The price of Bitcoin, I believe, is going to fall down to this $24,100, and then it's going to push up again, and then it's going to fall down back to this close to $20,000. And I think right here is the bottom. This is the support bottom. I think this is very, very strong. And after that, we will see a bounce up, but I don't know if we're in the bear market for sure. I want to see how these institutional investors are going to hold Bitcoin. Are they going to hold it, or have they been taking some profits off? We don't know. So we'll see how the bags move just in a few. So Janet Yellen, our new Secretary of Treasury, she had a message. She has a message for the cryptocurrency space. So let's just read this real quick. I think we need to look closely at how to engage their use for legitimate activities while curtailing their use of malign and illegal activities. She's saying what every other politician is saying. We need to research how people are moving their crypto. We want to look and see where they're moving this. We just don't want any bad activity happening through this, like terrorist acts. And I can understand that. So in this article, it also said Janet Yellen thinks it is important the U.S. consider the benefits of cryptocurrency along with the potential of misuse. So she's not against it, but they're going to put their foot down on this, and I don't know how they're going to do it. It's going to be very tough because crypto is not hugely based in the U.S. It's all over the world. If you put in regulations here, people can just go outside of here and just benefit more from crypto. So I don't know how they're going to play this because they don't want to lose the development of cryptocurrencies here. This is the future. The technology behind cryptocurrencies is going to change everything around the world. It's already transformed transportation, logistics to warehousing, and logistics for bigger companies so they can get their data immediately. Let's go over here to CNBC, and I haven't watched this yet, but this is on how crypto regulates may fare under the Joe Biden administration.
Our next guest is the president of Fidelity's digital assets team, responsible for creating an institutional brokerage capability for Bitcoin and other tokenized securities. Fidelity's Tom Jessup joins us now. Tom, good morning. Kate laid it out pretty well there. What are you expecting from the new administration when it comes to cryptocurrencies and regulations?
Yeah, good morning. Yes, I agree. Given Chairman-elect Gensler's experience in the space and what he's been doing in recent years, I think it paints a more generally constructive attitude or picture in terms of what we might expect going forward. I would note that we saw some fairly interesting and good regulatory developments last year. You look at the OCC and some of the guidance they've given banks around access to the asset class or even participating in some of these networks. And more recently, and perhaps less publicized, some requests for comment from the SEC around better definition around what it means to be a custodian in the space, and even some questions about what it would mean for broker-dealers to transact in tokenized securities. So even predating this news, we've started to see more constructive engagement with the regulators, and we think that will persist into the new year, just given what we're seeing in terms of institutional and as well as retail demand, which was alluded to in the prior session.
Right, Tom, you mentioned Gary Gensler's track record. He's going to head up the SEC. But what did you make of Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary's comments yesterday? She warned of terrorism risk and seemed to suggest that its use should be curtailed. Does that worry you?
It does, but I think, there's an interesting report that will be issued by one of the companies that does forensic blockchain analysis, which is a tool that, we rely on in terms of operating our business. And they do an annual report of call it illegal or illicit activity on the Bitcoin blockchain by actually looking at network activity. And the preview of this report is that on an absolute basis, they estimate that illegal activity on the blockchain has dropped 50% to 10 billion last year. And just given overall transaction volume increases on the Bitcoin blockchain, as a percentage of total activity, it's something like 0.3%. So I think when we think about this concern, it is a valid concern, but I think that there are perhaps other places to look and call it the non-digital economy where this activity is occurring with greater frequency and in greater size. So I would not diminish the risk, but I think the risk is potentially smaller than people might suggest it to be, and it's diminishing or declining on a year-on-year basis, which again is positive in terms of further development of this ecosystem.
Tom, do you and the folks at Fidelity have insight into what's moving Bitcoin? I mean, I can't help but notice the price seemed to peak around January 8th, which is a very difficult week for the country and stability. And it's down, what, about 20% in the last week? I mean, is this a chaos trade? Is stability bad for Bitcoin? What's moving it?
Look, I think a little bit of recent historical context is important. We doubled from September to December. We went from 10 to 20 pretty quickly. And then from early December to early January, we doubled again. So I think this is a healthy phase of consolidation for the market. I think given that, this market is still very much in its adolescence, it's hard to attribute price activity to specific factors. One interesting thing about the blockchain is that you can actually look at the data. You can see where the money's moving. There have been some reports recently that show there's actually some underlying bullish trends on the network where investors are moving coin off exchange. Typically, what you see is investors move coin on exchange as a precursor to selling. So I think this is just some healthy profit taking and some consolidation. I will say that our clients, institutions that work with us, have been steady net buyers throughout this entire period, and we continue to see strong demand among institutions for access to the asset class. So that's really our perspective on what's happened recently.
Tom, so does that mean that the history of 80% declines, which it's done a few times now, was that just early period growing pains? Do you think we've entered a period either structurally or because of sentiment or flows where that's just no longer possible?
Look, I wouldn't rule it out, but I think we're in a very different market now than the one we experienced in 2017. I think the composition of investor interest has changed dramatically. We've moved from, in 17, a very retail-driven frenzy into the final weeks of that year, and now we're seeing much broader-based institutional adoption. You're seeing this certainly from service providers like us in our business. You're seeing this through open interest on futures exchanges. You're seeing this with BlackRock announcing that a few of their funds will have access to Bitcoin futures. I also think the market's maturing. There's more liquidity. Volatility is down about 50% from where it was in 2017. So we believe that the composition of this investor base and what's driving the market higher today is fundamentally different than what we saw 3 years ago.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you don't know what tokenization is, as they talked in the video, Google it. I don't have time to talk about it right now, but I'll talk about it in another video. Very interesting what they're doing with tokenization in the blockchain field. Also, guys, check out CryptoML. They have an AI trading bot, which works off machine learning and neural networks. If you use the link down here at the bottom, you'll get 60 days for free. 60 days for free. So why not sign up and let them trade your crypto while you're asleep? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and thank you for watching. And all you guys have a good day, and all you guys have a good night, and enjoy the crypto life. Peace.